as, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting the semi-final of the World Championship 2022. GranaDy, Otaaaq, Pack, and Mime are going to kick things off on Slalom, the map where the World Championship was decided last year. That time, Carl Jr. won. Now we're looking to see if anyone can beat him. 2 players off the seat will go to the finals to potentially face him, and it will all unfold right here, right now.
Yeah, 3 seconds left to go until the warm-up is over. I was baited. There is 8 seconds left to go until the end of this warm-up, and then the players will head right into the action. I think it's going to be
trolling you.
Oh, again? Okay, well, okay.
We're just adding a little bit more time every time, but as soon as it hits 0, we are a go. Let's start things off on Slalom. Already on the start here, precision will matter a lot. You want to go very close to the inside corner, set up all the way out on the dirt, and then try to avoid the bumps as much as possible. Just keeping up with the early checkpoints here can be difficult, and you can lose valuable hundredths like GranaDy here. Already a 10th behind, just from going a little bit too wide in that first dirt turn. Starts building up a lot of speed here, the map. There's a very precise turn to the right and up on the edge of the grass blocks. And then we go into the defining sections of this map, the slaloms. Starting on the dirt with a left, right, left on between the gates. Then one up the sausage blocks, and finally one in the ending, which will decide the opening round.
Yeah, and as we come up here, we're going to see a right-handed bank turn where the players want to go really low to not get that airtime, set themselves up for this right-hander, and then it's into the turnaround identity. The players are going to do a very, very sharp left-hander right here, hopefully not sliding out as GranaDy does, and then they want to weave through these flags, and one last jump into the ending. It looks like Otaaaq is gonna take the first 10 points. GranaDy with a mistake.
GranaDy hitting the finish, actually. Very unfortunate start for him. It's a 10-pointer for Otaaaq, but Pack also crashed there in the downhill just before the finish.
This is important for Otaaaq as well, because as we talked about, the map force climbing is coming up later, which is a very, very strong map for some of the other players. And taking home a few of the faster, or taking home a strong lead in the start can be detrimental to this match.
It can, and as you speak of it, he makes a mistake in the start, just clipping a block, and that tiny blunder does put him out of the fight to win this race. As once again, Mime and Pack are driving fast, but GranaDy is beating them both, and for GranaDy, that's a really key factor here, is to be able to stay up close, or maybe even ahead before the ice, where he's not going to be on his main device, and that's going to be tough, driving the last turn with keyboard instead of the steering wheel. We're coming up to it again. It is Mime with a small lead. We'll also have the speed advantage before the setup here, but it's really important to keep grip and get an early eyesight just around the corner. GranaDy going a bit too low. Pack challenging Mime for that win, though. More speed down the jump. Will he avoid the lantern? Leaving a little bit of room to go. Takes the 10-pointer, and he's making his own map pick work right now.
Absolutely. Actually, a little bit of a scary line coming from Pack in the ending. He had so much speed, he clipped the top of the finish, almost not making it in. But as these players are world champion players, they are definitely aware that they have to release in the air in case of danger, but just a little bit too high can make you hit that finish line.
Yeah, the problem is actually also that it is on ice, and when you have icy tires, you cannot release as much in the air. It is way less effective, so the lineup is even more important on the jump-off point. GranaDy is bleeding out right now in terms of points on this map, and I think he expected that. There are 2 maps that he really doesn't like in the map pack where he needs to switch to keyboard. It is Slalom and Bobsag. He can only ban one of them, and he chose to ban Bobsag, so he is very prepared to take some losses here, to go into an early deficit if he can bring it back on his more favored maps later on. And second and third places here would do him really nicely. As Pack and Mime are fighting for it, Otaaaq made another starting mistake. This time, Pack is closer to Mime before the setup, but Mime gets a way better eye slide, leaving everyone behind him, but an important second place could be coming in here for GranaDy on one of his worst maps.
Yeah, that is great from GranaDy, and as you've said there, if you make a mistake in the start, as Otaaaq has done, That is so scary because to start, you want to accumulate speed and you want it to snowball you through that full speed section. And if you don't get that, the other players are just going to zoom further and further ahead of you. And, you know, that's not what you want to happen.
You really want to get as many chances at the end as possible. If you make a silly mistake, like just clipping the wheel a little bit, it can feel like you threw it away for nothing because you wouldn't gain much by pushing there. So you have to find out which limit you want to play at, how close to the walls you want to stay. Here, GranaDy misses the setup for that grass turn a bit. That's 0.3 down to the others now, which will be tough to regain. Packing the lead through the first dirt slalom, gets a small speed slide even on the exit to optimize it, and he's leading by a 10th as we go into the sausage slalom. Very precise driving from the Englishman as we set up for the grass. Mime gets that so cleanly to bring it a little closer. Any one of the three players could get it here. Important for Otaaaq as well to keep level with the others as he gets a good ice slide. All of them actually down the hill now. Who has the most speed? Mime overtaking first, but Otaaaq has a better line to overtake second from Pack. But they're all within a 10th here on the final round of slalom.
That is interesting that Pack did get third once again there on the map of his choice. Pack has been such a strong contender the last 2 days, and to see him not be that strong on the map style of his choice, that's a little bit interesting, but he can definitely bounce back here as we jump into Mime's map choice, which is going to be Red Landing. Can you tell us a little bit about this map, Wirtual?
Well, it has a lot of bobsleigh, it has a lot of sausage blocks and plastic driving, and two very important jumps in the ending. It's a map that favors GranaDy. We've seen him dominate here, and he actually chose to pick this 5 out of 8 times in the group stage. So it's a map he's comfortable on. It's a map Otaaaq has done really well on. But Mime, despite those odds, says, yeah, I think I can beat you both here. And he wanted it for himself.
And I think if you are comfortable enough saying, I can at least get second place consistently, that's a map style that you like. That's a map that you should be comfortable with picking. So even if Otaaaq takes home like 1 or 2 victories, as long as Mime can consistently get that first or second place, it's going to be a map pick that he will be happy about.
Yeah, and I think GranaDy here, looking towards it, very important for him that he can make this map work. He took some losses on Slalom. It wasn't as bad with that 1 second place, sitting at 16 points now. But this is where he needs to get out of that mindset from the first map and bounce back.
Yes, as we jump into the first round here, the players are going to try to get as much exit speed as they can out of this bobsleigh section into a left-handed sausage turn, and Pack making a mistake, actually jumping out, getting too much airtime, and it's going to be between the 3 other players. Otaaaq currently in the lead, fighting with it with Mime. Getting that gear on the plastic is crucial, making sure you don't miss that checkpoint. We have seen that checkpoint be missed multiple times during the tournament here. Going on the left hand, want to set up with a little bit of a drift, make sure you get all the way around without touching that outside wall, and then we're gonna head into the last section of the map.
Yeah, around the water turn here. If you touch it, you might have to respawn. Mime barely dodging, getting his water wheels wet as he extends his lead with a great turn into the bobsleigh. 2 tenths ahead of the others on his map choice in the first round, but this is the important part. You have to land early on the red boosters. The further back you go, the better the speed, but Mime bounces out on the landing. Otaaaq has the lead here. He goes for a low jump, gonna land early on the boost, and that should be enough to take the win. GranaDy will get an important second place here, but overall, this will balance out the standings.
It will balance out the standings greatly, as Mime might not even, he DNF'd. Mime did not get a single point and is now no longer in the lead. He's going to share that one with Otaaaq, and this is exactly what we talked about going into this map, that Otaaaq also has great pace, and I did say, well, if Mime can just consistently get second or first, he will be happy about that, but getting a DNF on his own map pick, that must hurt.
But I think he's feeling confident too. Looking at the time Otaaaq drove, he got a 109.22. Mime was 2 tenths ahead of that before the last jumps, and that is on pace for, you know, a 108 time, which would be among the fastest on the leaderboards and close to the world record.
Yeah, I mean, Mime definitely has incredible pace here as he crawls up to first place just ahead of Pack. Pack is pushing a as well, though. Let's see who's going to get the water section here. Don't touch with the wheels. It's going to slow you down just a little bit. Mime fighting really close with Pack here. Both of them seem to be on such a great pace. Let's see who's going to get the best drift here into the right-hander. And then we're going to have just a couple of jumps. Let's see who's going to get it.
Mime going low. Does he stick that landing? He does this time. Picks up the checkpoint and the booster gates. Slows down enough to land, but Pack is right there, and he will have more speed from the red booster. Speed sliding, but it's going to be 11 hundredths in the favor of Mime, who now picks up a 10-pointer after the first loss there.
And that's strong for Mime. He's now going to be 6 points ahead of second place, or 7 points ahead of second place, as Otaaaq only got that 4th position there. That's important for Mime, once again taking up a pretty decent lead, and GranaDy is now going to be looking for some points.
He is. He has made a small comeback happen. I think one more good round would do him really well here. A second or a first to level his score with the others. Usually, though, finds a lot of time in the start, and then that previous round, he was about 2-3 tenths behind before the water turn. Now you can see him in first, as we might expect on the map that he chose so many times in group stages. Him and Mime doing everything close to perfect. Otaaaq here keeping the gear, setting up a bit late for the water turn, and that's going to cost him speed all the way into the bobsleigh. So Pack will overtake him, but all 4 players are in the mix here. The points are to be distributed for the one who dares to risk it all on the last 2 jumps. Who is going to take it?
Yeah, who's going to take these last 2 jumps? They're so close to each other. Each and every player making it. The first jump there, Otaaaq not getting the checkpoint, and Mime is going to be in the lead, but GranaDy seems to be getting a little bit more speed. Is he going to be able to overtake? It does not look like it. He gets really close, but Mime with a solid 109.09.
That is so fast, isn't it? Close to the top 3 on the leaderboard, I believe. And a great run by all 4 players. Otaaaq dared to risk. Sadly missed the checkpoint there, though, just before the ending.
Yeah, it can happen. It is very difficult. Once you land on those red boosters, your car is just going to propel forwards, and it can be a little bit difficult getting the right lines just because you're also on plastic. So on top of getting so much acceleration, your car is also going to slide around the place. Hitting such a small checkpoint can be very difficult.
It really can, and you are going to risk it there. You know the splits is that close. It's just full sending it, hoping that it will work. Didn't work out for Otaaaq, but now with the no slide, he is again in the mix here. Just needs to set up for the plastic, get that upper gear set up. Looks better for him this time. He's going to be right up there with GranaDy and Mime. Closer than the last time, but it's still GranaDy who is faster, a 10th ahead of everyone else. As they set up for this last 180 around the hole. Don't want to clip the wheel at all. Want to keep decent speed. Release to land far back on the booster. That might be too far for GranaDy. Or will it? He will actually get more speed. Just daring to risk it all. All 4 players are here. Who's going to be? Otaaaq on the inside line, but Mime's coming in with more speed, and Mime takes it away. Pack is 100 behind, and GranaDy only 4 tenths as well.
That is so important for Mime, getting those victories back to back to back on his own map choice. And you were so right about that. Red landing for Mime seems to be a very, very good map pick, and he just took home those 3 victories.
Yeah, despite the first DNF, he won 3 in a row. He's on a hat trick. 30 points there out of 40 possible. So a great choice, and he has another map that plays to his strengths. This is forest climbing. It's picked by GranaDy, but it could really go Mime's way this one.
Yeah, forest climbing has, you know, a lot of very intricate things you gotta do on the map. And if anything, Mime has shown us that he has such a good understanding of how the grass mechanic works in the game. He consistently gets ahead of his opponents during the first section of the map. But then there is the climb up the hill there, where you have to dodge so many trees and such, and that can be very, very difficult also for Mime.
Yeah, you can see it here in the map preview. The identity of this map right at the ending is this uphill climb. You have a reactor booster, the car has crazy acceleration, and at the same time you have to dodge 8 trees in all directions next to you to get up unscathed. There are different lines to do this. There's one, you'll see where they go to the left of a checkpoint, and the other to the right, and these balance out in pace. We're still really not sure what's fastest.
Yeah, I mean, Carl Jr. seemed to do really good going on the left side of that tree, but we're going to have to see what the players opt for. It is not only about pace, it is also about consistency as we jump into the first round here of forest climbing. In the lead, there is no doubt about it, it is Mime here, but he's fighting with Otaaaq, and both of them are getting a really good start right here. GranaDy and Pack not too far behind, so the field is very close going into the magnet section. Oh, we have a mistake there from Otaaaq, unfortunately hitting the checkpoint, and he's going to be out of it for this round, but Mime is going to remain in the lead.
Yeah, big mistake for Otaaaq there. He's had a couple of those now. Few on Slalom, few here on forest climbing, and we see GranaDy fall as well, making it just a two-player battle here between Pack and Mime, and they're going to go up the staircase now. You want to go up quick while also remaining in control of the car, not clipping or sliding off. Pack nearly having a mistake there, and it looks like Mime is going to be able to take first with no one really close. GranaDy getting quite close to Pack, but it's a second of a gap, and Mime starting us off with a 6.66 here.
Yeah, but a mid 1:00 is going to be fine. That is a great pace on this map. Currently, Mime does hold the world record on this map by quite a lot compared to the rest of the players, but that is, of course, the online leaderboards, and we do not know if the players went home and practiced these maps offline. But as of right now, it does look like Mime has great potential on this map, and his skill has definitely not decreased through the last couple of days.
And just look at the points. 72 now for Mime. 25 points ahead of second place. With those 4 wins in a row, that's how powerful the 10-pointer is. GranaDy with a mistake. Only Otaaaq is really close to Mime to challenge him in this round. And with those 2 good maps back-to-back, he will make great moves on the leaderboard. The question is, will he be able to close out if and when he gets to Finalist on the remaining tracks?
Yeah, that is the question. But luckily, Slalom and Red Landing both have been great for Pack, and hopefully he's going to be able to get them back once they re-rotate back into them. Going into the last part of the identity right here, Otaaaq, Pack fighting it out for second and third, but Mime is just ahead, and he's going to take home another 10-pointer for himself with a mid 1.00.
This is turning dominant. Mime, another win, 5 in a row, 82 points, and now a 30-point gap to second. But still, 2 players will qualify here, so I think the others know, like, okay, catching up to Mime's going to be tough. He might be securing a spot soon, but there's still all to play for the others.
Yeah, I think the others has the mindset that it doesn't matter if Mime comes up ahead and is so much dominant right now. That's not what's going to worry them. Their main worry is not getting first. Right now, they're looking at the other players, and the other players, GranaDy with 42 points, Otaaaq with 51, Pack with 52. The field is very tight, and it's going to be up to which one of those 3 players is going to get up to that 140-point limit the first. Really,
yeah. It has been extended. In most matches, we play 120, but here we play 140, and I believe in the grand final, we get to witness 160 points being played for. So exciting stuff. All 4 players here in the identity, a rare sight. All to play for now and push for a lot of points on the line. Mime, though, still in first. Is he going to get the 6th round in a row in a Carl Jr.-esque performance? He will, and what a time! A 1:05.
Is that time? Is that a new world record? I think it is.
New world record on stage in the semifinal in his first world championship. Mime is looking like he's handling this pressure impeccably.
I cannot believe the pace that Mime is pulling out right now. And you gotta know, it's snowballing. His mindset is just getting better and better, and it's just gonna snowball into faster and faster paces. And the other players, they're gonna look at this and be like, oh my god, if I get into the qualifying times here, if I get into the finals, I'm gonna be playing against this.
And I'm telling you, that pace right there is enough to scare Carl too, I believe. I don't think he wants to face that. Mime there, looking incredible on this, and I think he's ensured that someone will bend this against him in the final. No one can contest him on this map. GranaDy with a mistake again. It's not been the best round for him on his own choice. Can Otaaaq and Pack do something here in the final round of forest climbing, or will it be 7 rounds in a row, Jnic?
I mean, Mime is looking to close out 7 rounds in a row. Otaaaq with a mistake. Pack is going to be 0.4 behind Mime, and Mime just cruises up this hill and takes home 7 rounds in a row. Pack really close, not able to deny it, and Mime now jumping over that 100-point threshold.
Incredible. Incredible. 4 rounds of forest climbing. He did 0.6, 0.6, 0.5, and 0.05. These runs are better, all better, than other players' personal bests on the track. Like, that is astonishing to do on stage in a semi-final. It's just incredible.
I can't even put words onto how fast it is that he's playing. I mean, we've all tried to, you know, in the Cup of the Day or in a ranked match, trying to push out that personal best time during a round, but he just drove a world record during a round. That is just something else.
Hope is not lost for Otaaaq in 3rd. This is his map choice of Poolside, and it is his best map by far in the map pack. When he gets to play it, he consistently pulls out runs close to the world record of 111.1.2. The world record here is a 110.9, so about 2/10 off, but this is one he's fancied. It has been banned against him in the past by other players. Now he gets it, perhaps in the most important match in his career.
Yeah, I think this is where I expect Otaaaq to bounce up in points and maybe even take that 2nd place, because we have seen him be so consistent in the final section, in the identity of this map, where he overtakes players with a little bit of a different line. He does not opt to going into a no slide immediately. He extends the slide, and it seems to be working out for him going into the 1st round right here. He's already on 1st place, but the rest of the field is so close behind him. They're trying to pressure, but let's see if he can keep it up.
Yeah, the thing here to remember though, Pack did a world record on the 6-lap version of this. When they played that in the Grand League, Pack is really good and consistent at this. And also, in the Trackmania Grand League Fall Playoffs, Pack beats Uffy here in the finals to win that tournament on Poolside. So this is a great map for him as well. You see those 2 players up front, and Mime in the Challenger League of TMGL did great on Poolside as well. All these players are well versed on it, but you can see Otaaaq. There's a reason he chose this track, and it's because he is so refined. He really knows how to do this every single time consistently without failure, and let's hope he can make it work in the identity. Jumping into the checkpoint now, the 3 slides, he hit the checkpoint a little bit, which lets Pack have a chance at winning the round in the next 2 dives into the water. Pack getting a good turn there, getting a good last turn, but Otaaaq will make the 1st round work and secure 10 points for himself.
And that's the thing, if you're behind Otaaaq going into that identity, it's going to be very, very difficult to overtake, because he does the identity really, really well. So if you want to get ahead of him, you got to do the most risky lines that I've seen in a long time, and quite possibly sliding out.
Yeah, and with that, Mime's 7-round winning streak has been ended, but the damage is done. He's still 40 or so points ahead of the others, and it could get even greater if Mime doesn't make that mistake this time. Here though, it is again Otaaaq and Pack off to the best starts. The different lines come through on the dirt. Mime has made a mistake again, so together with GranaDy, they are fighting for 3rd and 4th, but it's Otaaaq and Pack again in the lead here.
Yeah, and Otaaaq is trying to extend his lead right now. Almost 0.1 ahead of Pack. They're all alone here in the front, 1 second ahead of the rest of the field. And it's kind of unfortunate seeing GranaDy make a mistake here. He needs to be a little bit more consistent on the map picks that is not his style, because he is sinking a little bit behind as we go into the final section of this map. Pack actually overtaking Otaaaq just a little bit, but not enough speed to maintain that lead. And is he going to be able to get this final identity down? Otaaaq has increased the lead once again with a 0.2. Will he remain? Yes, he will. Pack slides out. Mime actually overtakes Pack now. Pack jumping all the way down to 4th position, and Otaaaq with a 111.13.
And Mime getting a 2nd place there must feel like a steal after that big mistake in the start. But everyone else failed, and Pack failed in trying to get that 10 from Otaaaq. It was very close on the splits, but he did have to release a little bit, and now we see Mime. He's just 30 points away from reaching finalists.
Yeah, Mime is really doing quick work here, and that might be the strategy. He might be putting all in as fast as possible. Get in, get out, get to the finals.
really is going to be the way he's going to do it. Otaaaq, though, 20 out of 20 on Poolside so far. The time is just 2/10 from world record that he drove in the previous round. Can anyone keep up with this? Because it feels like he's doing what Mime did on forest climbing, and it's just so dominating to try to keep up with. GranaDy here, the closest one to have a stab at it.
Yeah, but GranaDy is doing well right now, almost overtaking, a little bit of a wider line. It's not going to have the same approach as Otaaaq and thus have a little bit less exit speed. But let's take a look at Mime and see what strategy he goes for. All of the players go for a late no slide. It seems to be the strategy to go for here in the ending, and we have a mistake. Otaaaq is still in the lead, though GranaDy is right behind together with Mime. Pack, unfortunately, not going to be there anymore. Otaaaq is going to take home the triple victory on the map of his choice.
And look at this. This is what we were talking about. We saw it on the stats. We see it in the semi-final. Time after time. 11.1, 11.2. He can do that almost blindfolded, it looks like. But Mime is close. He was able to keep up. He gets another 6 points. And what it's looking like is after this map, Otaaaq and Mime will have a clear grasp at first and second.
Yes, it actually looks like that, but we cannot count Pack and GranaDy out yet. Pack has been having such a great World Cup as of right now, and he still has a very strong chance to bounce back on the next couple of maps. And also remember that the map that Pack has chosen was the first map to be played and will be the first map to be replayed.
It will. GranaDy, though, another mistake here. Mime hitting the wall on the outside. And now Pack needs this 10. He really needs it to keep that World Cup final dream alive. He wants to try to beat Carl Jr. When he lost the final last year, got second place, wasn't able to win that time. Hungry for it now. Otaaaq 2/10 behind before the identity. It is not impossible for him to catch up here. Pack needs to drive extremely well to fend off Otaaaq into the water as we set up for the first drift now. Otaaaq setting up wide, getting a lot more speed than Pack before the second dive. Inside line as Pack slides out. Important round there. Otaaaq will take the quadruple win. Pack will get a second place here at least, but it's not the result Pack was hoping for.
It is not, as I seem to hear some technical difficulties coming in, but hopefully you guys were all ready and was able to catch that. Otaaaq with an incredible performance on Poolside.
Extremely well. I mean, you can't get it better. 40 out of 40 possible points. It's what he needed out of that map, and it's what we expected out of that map too. Now on to New School. This is a map that can go either way. It's quite neutral in terms of the pace. All the players are sometimes getting fast runs here, but we also see a bit of a mistake-heavy field.
Oh yeah, but this is one of those maps where we don't really have that much of a difficult identity. The ice section in the ending can definitely be difficult to execute, but this is a very, very pace-heavy map based on an old World Cup map that is very tech-driven, and as such, the older players that have that experience from the old games might be having a bit of an advantage on this map.
Yeah, especially if they played back then. Looking a bit at the stats right now, while you guys see the map preview, Pack with the best time driven in match here. GranaDy the most consistently fast. Otaaaq also consistently fast. And Mime, he has had quite a lot of mistakes in the live rounds played on it. Here we go into the round. GranaDy's made another mistake in the starting round of New School. Not what you're hoping to see as a GranaDy fan here. Really has to get out of that rut and bounce back. But it is Otaaaq and Pack in top two halfway through the race.
Yeah, I would expect Pack to do well on this map due to him having so much experience on the technical map style. But Otaaaq is definitely keeping up. Not only keeping up, actually being on first. And Pack is going to look to be the aggressor right here. Otaaaq trying to defend his first place. Going into the reactor section, you want to make sure you don't have a bad bounce there. Get as much traction on the round as possible. Going into the ice section, Otaaaq remains in the lead, but Pack is going to try to pressure right here. Has to extend the ice slide a little bit. Will he be able to overtake here in the final right-hander? It seems like he's able to take home that first place and the 10 points away from Otaaaq.
Important snipe there for Pack. And Mime, even, despite being quite far behind, almost caught up to them. Only 0.2 behind, so he had a great ice slide there. But the winning pace leaves a little bit to be desired. They can go faster than a 0.7 here. and they just need to get into the rhythm to do so.
They can definitely go faster. Just to mention somebody, Carl Jr., one of the players with the fastest paces here, will drive a consistent 0.3. So at 0.75, as not slow at all, is still gonna have to be improved upon if they want to play this map again in the final.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to try to meet Carl here, but Pack himself has driven 0.3 in match as well and getting close to 0.2. Here we see this wide setup from GranaDy on the plastic. He goes for that line, gets a little bit more exit speed, and actually propels him up to second, almost getting first place halfway through the race. But now, with no one making any mistakes, this could go either way. All of them have to push it on the ice and really get those slides into the finish as optimized as possible.
Yeah, and the players are actually really close. 0.2 separating all of the players right now, and it's gonna be up to the last ice slides right here. Otaaaq going for such an inside line, sniping first place. Is he gonna be able to overtake and hold that in? It does not look like it, because Pack will take it home once again with 2 round wins in a row, and this is so important for Pack.
It's huge. Mime actually almost had that, but he hit the last corner, and that is why Pack takes it. And the more they can do this, the more they keep Mime at bay. The winning pace now 2 times faster. A 0.5 is what we want to see, but that round was extremely close.
It was so close. And just to once again say it, if you guys are confused, oh, we have a mistake there coming in from Pack. He will probably not get the 3-time win on this map. But you guys might be confused. We're playing to 140 points. That is why Mime is not finalist as of yet, but he is creeping close. He could be finalist within the next couple of rounds if he gets these rounds down right.
And look at this. Pack is last. If Otaaaq wins this round, he could really extend that gap down to Pack in the fight for second. Mime is getting ever closer to finalist, only 11 points away. Needs to get perhaps 2 rounds down to get that position locked in. Otaaaq here, though, doing really well right now on U School. 2 second places behind Pack. Now that he's out of the mix, can he secure the first? Mime will push for it, trying to overtake in the ending, but he slides the angle on the ice side a little bit, and Otaaaq still in first, but he slides out the last corner, and Mime will take the 10. GranaDy gets an important second. Otaaaq will take third, but now Mime is just 1 point away from finalist.
Yeah, Mime will secure finalist in the next round. Granted, he just has to hit the finish line, but knowing Mime, that is not going to be a problem, and the rest of the players are going to be held with the task of denying Mime those victories, and looking at the pace of Mime, that's not an easy task to accomplish.
It's going to be so difficult, and you know, it's going to rotate back. We're soon going to go back to Slalom. And he was winning rounds there, and then you have maps like forest climbing, which is looking, you know, monstrous for Mime. So red lining as well. It's gonna be tough. Mime might be halfway into the finals right now, but if the others can deny him, and if he makes mistakes like this, feeling the pressure, falling down into last, it's still anyone's game.
And that is true, and we can't take anything away from Otaaaq here, the closest person to Mime, and could possibly get himself into finalist position within the next 3 to 4 rounds here. He's fighting with Pack to see if he can get that 10-pointer once again, but Pack holds the lead going into the final ice slide. Otaaaq once again going really, really tight, and that seems to get him a little bit closer, but Pack with more exit speed. Who's going to get the tight inside line right here? Looks like Pack is going to be able to get it. Otaaaq almost overtaking GranaDy, actually sniping it away from Otaaaq, but Pack will maintain that lead and the 10 points.
Pack closing in the gap down to Otaaaq right now. GranaDy coming a bit alive in the end. There were 2 second places, and Mime getting finalists secured as we rotate back. All 5 maps in this map pack have now been played, and we're back on Slalom.
Yeah, and Slalom was once again picked, by Pack, and hopefully he can show up again. Maybe he just had to warm up a little bit. He really started showing up on the last map, which was New School, and he had multiple victories on that map. 111 points to his name, right behind Otaaaq. He could be putting himself in the finalist position on this map.
He could as well, but keep in mind, out of 40 possible points the first time this was played, Mime secured 32 of them. He had at least 2 wins and 2 second places, if I'm not mistaken. So Mime is a candidate that could close it out here. It's going to be very difficult for Otaaaq, Pack, and GranaDy to fend them off.
It's going to be very difficult, but if anybody can do it, it is those guys. Mime also has the pressure of the 300 people in the studio looking at him, as well as the many, many players in chat cheering for him. Hopefully, he will be able to do it as we head into the first round here of Slalom.
Going up to the Slalom section now. It's the calm before the storm, as we have to weave between the gates on the dirt first. You want to be able to speed slide while doing it here. Just left and right, and Mime has squandered the first attempt. He did hit the wall. GranaDy as well, failing to the first Slalom. It's the battle for second in the overall standings right now as Pack makes a mistake on the uphill. Otaaaq getting the lead now, almost by a second down to his opponents. Just needs to hold that ice slide. Pack 0.6 behind. But all of them will be able to score points here. Just gotta hold the grip on the car. Both Pack and Otaaaq look to get it. And Otaaaq should be able here to secure a very important 10 points.
And that's actually gonna be putting him in to finalist next round. He will be guaranteed finalist if he manages to finish that next round together with Mime. So if he can deny Mime just one more round, he might even be able to take home that first place. And now it is up to Pack to get those final points for him. He still needs 23 points to get into finalist position, and GranaDy needs to be pushing it right now.
Yeah, just to correct it, it is still 2 rounds at least for Otaaaq here. 13 points away.
Oh yeah,
he's sensing it. He's close enough to that spot. If he wants it though, he's gonna have to drive faster than a 104.10, because that time is usually not enough to win here. You gotta get into the 103s, and Mime, I don't know what happened, but we do have a DNF. He will not be able to close it out, and as Jnic foretold, perhaps we will have Otaaaq finalist very soon, up there with Mime.
Yeah, and if he can close it out with a decent position right here, he's currently second. He will be able to put himself in finalist position next round. Pack with a demanding lead though, and he looks to take it home here with one final ice slide to go. Otaaaq is trying to attack, but Pack does seem to have it down. One final jump into the finish, and Pack will take home a very important 10 points for himself.
103.47. There's a reason he picked this. Is coming in at just the right time when he needs to get points. He gets 10 important ones, and you can see him closing the gap to Otaaaq. They're both so close, and if, you know, Otaaaq wins here, or if Pack wins, we could be having 2 finalists, 3 finalists soon. There's a lot of pressure right now starting to form on all the players' shoulders. GranaDy needs to pull out a miracle and do anything to come back in the match here and on red landing. He's running out of time.
Oh, he is running out of time, but he had a very strong showing on red landing though, even though he failed a little bit in the ending. But he is able to bounce back. It is just about turning the knob into full gear and pressing B for boost. He is not out of it in this race either. 0.1 behind the rest of the field, but Pack seems to be in the lead by just a little bit going up into the slalom. Who's gonna carry out the most speed here in the exit? It does look like Pack once again will be in the lead on the map. Pick of his choice. Mime is getting really close though, and it's so important for these players to be able to deny him right here as we head into a final turnaround. Mime looking to attack. Pack is sliding out. Otaaaq is the only one standing between Mime and the finals, but Mime almost making it, unfortunately clipping a little bit, and Otaaaq will go into finalist position together with Mime.
Mime hit the pillar. He had more speed, and it looked like he might have overtaken there if he got all the way down. But that mistake is massive. Not only does it give Mime finalist, it puts Pack in range to get it as well. And we could really be getting to 3 finalists, because Pack's pace here, if he gets one of those good ones, is nearly unstoppable.
And we've talked about this so many times. Just because you get finalist position early does not mean you'll lock it out. It can be very, very difficult to get that final win, because you know that is all that stands between you and the victory, and the pressure is on as we see Otaaaq with a very, very strong start getting ahead of the field. But currently GranaDy and Pack actually showing up right here, and they need to deny the 2 finalists if they want to remain in the competition. Going into the uphill, Pack seems to be in the lead, but Mime is following a little bit behind. No, yes he is. Who's gonna get this final turnaround, Virtual?
Otaaaq clipped a little bit. He's losing speed. Mime's going to be in second. Only one player stands between him and reaching the finals, and that is Pack, who goes down the hill with a lot of speed. Does he have the angle to hold it and deny the finalists? He will. Pack hits the lantern. GranaDy takes the 10, but it's still enough to deny them from closing it out, and Pack will not get finalists yet.
That is such an unfortunate turn of events from Pack, with such great pace, putting himself right in front of the finalists and then hitting that pole. That you hate to see it. You just hate to see it.
That is not... I can't believe it. Pack could have been finalists now as we head on to Red Landing, a map Mime picked up to play it in the semifinals. He was on pace for 108 earlier, and last time this was played, Mime started his winning streak, winning 3 of the 4 rounds with pace of low 109. Here, Pack needs to win, needs to deny Otaaaq and Mime. If GranaDy can do it for him, even better. But it's going to be very tough to keep up with those guys.
It is going to be very, very tough here as we head into the first round of Red Landing. Once again, guys, the Red Landing is named due to the 2 final jumps you have to land on the red strips. We're going to see the players start off right now. Who's going to get the most exit speed out of the bobsleigh here in the start? It could mean the difference between 0.1 from the players here heading into the hairpin and the water. One more left-hander to go. All of the players seem to be neck and neck as of right now. I gotta hope that Mime can pull it through right here. He has been making mistakes the last couple of rounds, and he only is 1 more point, 1 more victory away from that finals position.
He was dropping down a little bit. Great drift around the sausage block to push it into second. Setting up wide here with having the gear. That's going to be a lot of extra speed, but he hits the water. Is it enough to make him respawn? No, he will continue with that and be in the second place. Pack leading as we head into the ending. A great checkpoint split at that. They're driving fast. They're driving towards that 108 pace. Mime up there now, challenging for first. 2 jumps between him and the finals. Pack, the only player ahead of him. Mime gets a bad landing. He's not going to have it. GranaDy jumping up into first, and where's Otaaaq? Can Otaaaq steal the finals ticket right here? He will be ahead of GranaDy, and Otaaaq is the first grand finalist.
Otaaaq putting himself in the finalist situation. That is amazingly played by Otaaaq, recognizing that he had to do a low jump to overtake GranaDy right there, going for the risky line and taking it home for himself.
And Otaaaq is the first French player to reach the finals of the World Championship in 8 years, and he does it in his first time participating, carrying the flag in the home turf right now in Paris. As a pressure is put on Mime, he has another finalist to deal with. That is Pack. He has been squandering attempts, and now Pack, he was driving fastest up until the ending in the previous round. He knows that this is going to be a very tough opponent to deal with. Mime here, is the dream going to slip away? Is he going to hold on? He needs to beat Pack because GranaDy's looking like he's a little bit too far away to deal with him. How are they going to come back? GranaDy's crashed out. It's all between the finalists. Pack versus Mime to decide who goes to the finals.
And they are once again really close to each other. 0.3 separating the players, though. Pack just needs to get these final jumps down, and that is the only thing separating him from the finals. Mime is sweating a little bit right here. He needs to go for some low jumps. Is he going to be able to make it? Pack seems to be getting a good landing going into the second jump. He makes a mistake, and Mime will overtake him in the final jump here. Will he be able to get on to the finish? He will be, and Mime will be our second person in the grand finals.
Incredible! Mime and Otaaaq, the 2 young players from the Trackmania Challenger League just 1 year ago. Not a lot of people knew who they were in the Trackmania world, and now they've beaten Pack and GranaDy, and they're going to be in the finals together. That was the last possible moment that Mime could have gone through with it, and I was so scared it was going to slip away. What a first match of the day we just saw, Jnic.
That was incredible. And I mean, I was almost, you know, sweating just for Mime. He had been finalist for such a long time. Then somebody else gets finalist, finishes before him, and then he's in a neck-to-neck battle with Pack, none other, to see who can get that final position, and he still clutches it out.
Incredible. They knocked out Pack, the 2016 world champion, the second place player last year in the tournament. And that is just the start of the action today. We still have the second semi-final. We still have the grand final later. But that is a twist I think a lot of people were not expecting.
No, but it is a welcome twist. It's always nice to see new faces in the grand final. And honestly, I cannot wait to see who they're going to be playing against.